This is the Biff Podcast, number 28. We're doing a series where we're talking about all of our musical gear, and this episode's all about my drums. So, a little bit of info here. Back in the day when Biff was first getting started, I had a Premier drum set. It was pretty nice when I bought it, but it definitely got used, got beaten up pretty bad, and ended up donating it to someone in Africa. But I got this kit. It's a Tama Swing Star, which is a step above like their starter series. So it's a decent kit. I only paid like $200 for it. Bought it from my brother, who got it from a friend who was belonged to her ex-boyfriend, and she was trying to get drug money or something. So I got a great deal on it. It's kind of a grayish blue color, which I like. I've had it for probably like 5 years now. Right now I have an Evans snare head, and I got Remo on the rest. I don't really have any brand loyalty with my heads. Just kind of get whatever. Right now I got this Power Stroke. I tend to like the Power Stroke stuff that Remo makes. It usually sounds pretty good, especially on the kick drum, which I have right now. Right now I have these strange O-ring things that deaden the sound of my drums, because I think it sounds good with them kind of dead. I like a thick, rich sound. So I don't know. I really struggle with tuning drums. It's really difficult to tune drums, and I've never been very good at it. I've always struggled with it. They say that you want to make all the lugs even, and when I do that, I find that the drum still sounds like shit. So I tend to just fuck with it until it sounds good to me. I think my drums usually sound decent. Let me talk about my snare for a minute here. I have a bit of a snare graveyard beside me. I have the Tama snare that came with the kit. It's a decent sounding snare and everything, but it's just got a lot of issues. Like, it's got broken ribbons and a bad hoop on it. I have this other one here. Yeah, it's another Thomas snare, and I think it came from the 80s. I have no idea where I even fucking got it. But it's a decent snare too, but again, ribbon problems. It's got a horrible ring to it. So I've been using both those snares for a while, but Joe had this vintage Ludwig snare. It's like a 68 or 69 year. It was a marching band snare that his brother-in-law used and kind of ended up over here. So right now it's in the best shape of any of my snares, so I'm using it. I think it sounds pretty decent. Let's see what else. So cymbals. I have a collection of again, just random cymbals, no brand loyalty for me. Hi-hat's a Sabian. As you can see, it's cracked. People might not realize, who don't play drums, that drum equipment is extremely expensive. Each one of these cymbals is probably cost me at least $200, $200 to $300 for most of them. So I just haven't replaced my hi-hat yet, because you can get away with playing it cracked for a while. It's kind of a low priority to fix, just because it still sounds good enough to me, because the bottom one's not cracked, so it works. This one is a vintage Zildjian crash cymbal. I have it here to replace a splash cymbal that I used to use and that I miss very much, but it used to belong to Corey Jensen, and he kind of left it with me. So it's got a real high tingy sound, so I don't tend to use it that much, but it's there. It's good to have. I have 2 China cymbals, which are, I think, pretty key to my sound. Definitely love the China for doing stuff like this. Like that sound. Over here is my big ass China. Both my Chinas are Sabians, by the way. This one also belonged to Corey Jensen. It's a beast. I think it's like 22 inches. A nice deep sound to it. My ride is a pasty, however you say it. This is my oldest cymbal, actually. When I purchased it, the crazy old lady that sold it to me told me it was a life product, and she was right because it's never cracked. It's a bronze 502 20-inch ride. I'd say it's pretty essential to the Biff sound. Definitely been used throughout our history. My crash setup, got 2 crashes here. One's a Zildjian, one's a Sabian. Sometimes I'll have 2 Sabians. I usually have to buy at least 1 crash cymbal every year because they break the most. They're both on the thinner side. This one's a Studio Crash AAX, and I got a Custom A medium crash. I usually go for the thinner crashes. I like that sound better, and I gotta have 2 so you can do things like this. Like, so yeah, that's the cymbals. I forgot to mention I got a 22-inch kick drum. Of course, big part of the Biff sound is the double bass pedal I have here. It's a Iron Cobra, which I highly recommend. I've had several double kick pedals, and this is by far the best one I've ever had. It's got great action, speed, good feel to it. I guess I'll just play for you a minute here so you can kind of get a feel for the kit. Maybe a little Grand Slam action. I use 5B drumsticks, usually just the cheapest ones I can find. But I learned here never buy maple ones because they just break. I always go with oak or some kind of a strong wood. Man, sticks are expensive too, especially when they just end up broken. For my throne, I have the Rock and Sock bicycle seat. It's pretty great. I have some soft bags, drum bags, that are made by Gator. That was the best investment I ever made. If you have drums, definitely spend the money to get cases. It's well worth it, especially if you gig a lot. So yeah, that's my drum kit. It's pretty awesome, and hope you enjoyed learning a little bit more about it. For the Biff Podcast, this is Dave. Oh, and before I forget, Joe and Seth were here earlier, but they peaced out. But I did ask them what they thought about my drum kit. Here's what they said.
They're nice drums.
Speed wolf, poop wolf, don't you play speed wolf, speed wolf.
Hold on, shut up.
Poop wolf.
Anything else to say on my drums?
The snare sounds better than it used to, because the one I had finally got all the parts found, I guess. It was kind of everybody else's for a while, which is fine, but is better than what you had, other than your ribbon issues that you're having. Cymbals are good when they're not cracked. Heads are good if you got them tuned right. And the hi-hat stand's good if I fucking fix it and bend it back. If you wouldn't be so destructive with your shit, it might last a little longer. There are many bent items. A little more care could have been taken, I'd say, over the life of the whole set.
They're okay for a cheap, shitty set of drums that you bought in Africa?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh no, that's where you sent your old drums to Africa, right?
Yeah.
I thought you bought these ones in Africa, but you did.
Yeah, because I go to Africa all the time.
Well, you could have had them shipped to you from Africa. It's possible. There's such thing as Amazon and eBay and shit. That's where I buy my shit. But yeah, they're cool. I like them. Yeah. Motherfuckers is tight.
So for the Biff Podcast, I'm Dave. We'll see you next time for some guitar talk. It's going to be awesome.